And with more hot, dry days expected across the state, as we just saw, wildfire danger remains top of mind.
So fire officials are helping people prepare to protect their homes and businesses. Jamie Seymour looked into what's being done and what is still needed. I guess we learned a lot of lessons from the fires back in 2020, Jamie.
Absolutely. And following those devastating fires in 2020, new legislation was passed to kind of prevent that same kind of destruction, including adapting communities to be more resilient for fires in the future. Tonight, state officials met with residents in Wilsonville as part of a series of town halls across the state, and they want to make sure these are parts of efforts to make sure communities are safe and ready. From Grants Pass to Medford to right here in the Willamette Valley, more Oregon communities are impacted by wildfires, and the state is using that to prepare as many residents as possible.
For us, it wasn't really so much as 2020 was a learning point. It was honestly a historical moment that kind of helped us get some of these things taken care of through legislation.
Legislation includes measures like Response Ready Oregon, spending $6 million to boost fire season staffing in 180 fire departments across the state. Another measure, Fire Adapted Oregon, launching town hall meetings with residents from every corner, including one in Wilsonville tonight. Homeowners in high-risk areas learn how to protect their properties, with the fire marshal's office preparing to put new mitigation standards in place across the state.
We are in, essentially an era of mega fires, and wildfire season has been getting longer and longer and more impactful.
Richard Carlson has a home in the Welch's community of eastern Clackamas County, and while they haven't seen a fire reach their home, they want to be prepared.
We're in an HOA up there. When those houses were built, they were built so that as many trees as possible would remain.
As the state prepares its official guidelines for defensible space, measures like tree spacing and distance between tree canopies worried Carlson, who came to the state's town hall for answers.
The only way you could have that 10 feet is start to take down trees. And on our property alone, we'd probably have to take down at least 15 trees.
And Carlson says he got some of those answers as the state works on efforts like removing limbs that are closer to the ground rather than removing trees for that canopy space. The Office of the State Fire Marshal says 70% of these fires in Oregon are still human-caused. And as the state sees more people moving here, everyone needs to do their part to not only be educated, but ready.
There's an urgency right now, right? Oregon is paying attention, right? A lot of places that hadn't seen fire in probably a generation, they've seen fire now.
The state plans to adopt its first standards of defensible space by December of this year, and those are expected to be enacted sometime in early 2023. Now, in addition to those in-person town halls that have been held all across the state, including in Wilsonville tonight, the State Fire Marshal's office also plans to hold virtual meetings in the next few weeks that anyone can attend and learn about what they need to do to protect their properties, as well as what their neighbors are doing. As those dates are finalized, we'll continue to keep you updated on air and online on KOIN.com. Reporting live in Portland, Jamie Seymour, KOIN 6 News.
All right, Jamie, thank you. And a reminder to check on the latest wildfires burning in Oregon and Washington. Just go to KOIN.com/wildfires.